our family, but let's face it, sometimes spending the holiday with them, it can be extremely stressful. And so here to help is Diane Andreou with Boys Town of South Florida Behavioral Health Clinic. I think I just butchered your last name. I'm sorry
That's okay.
about that.
Yes,
Thank you so much for coming in. Let's talk first tip, I guess, limiting holiday stress. It really has to do with being realistic about that holiday message.
Sure, you want to be realistic because there's a lot of stress to do things that maybe you can't always do. So whether it's doing what your neighbors are doing, keeping up with the culture, but just kind of sticking true to your values and being realistic with what you can afford, with what you need to do for your kids.
Love that. That kind of flows into the next tip, which is, and you don't think about it, but financial organization. You've got to be organized.
Sure, making a list like Santa, checking it twice, making sure that you can stick to that budget and not doing impulse buys, and being able to buy what you have on that list. And
the consequences to not doing that are probably greater than the reward that's fleeting.
Sure, and being able to sustain your credit card, being able to make payments on time.
You recommend clear communication.
Sure, clear communication is key this time of year as well as all throughout the year. If there are changes in routine, especially knowing where you're going to be, knowing where your kids are, who's going to pick them up, just being able to really clearly communicate and know what the expectations are.
I know you work with young males and their families. How do you manage a child who's stressed maybe by the change in the routine? Because let's face it, that's what we are in right now.
Sure, and at the Behavioral Health Clinic, we work with all families, boys, girls, everybody, and what we do talk a lot about is routine. So sticking with routine can be challenging in general, and especially now when you have a lot of other demands placed on you. So being able to spend a little bit of quality one-on-one time with kids just to get that attention so that they don't act out during other times. So that helps a lot. So
one reason for maybe them acting out would be divorced parents and going, I've got to imagine, in between households around the holidays.
Sure, in between households, who's doing what, who's buying which gift for them, who's taking credit for it, for lack of a better word, and just communication. So I'm going to do this, you're going to do that, and the kids know what to expect.
So as a parent, what do you do to avoid that?
You talk to each other and you talk to your kid.
As hard as it is,
As hard as it is.
Yeah. Finally, you say maintain basic healthy habits.
Healthy habits, making sure that you're sleeping well, getting your meals in, exercising a little bit. Don't beat yourself up too much if it doesn't happen, but just maintain. If you have stress habits, eating too much, drinking, just checking in on yourself and checking in with others who might be able to help out.
Looking at these tips, and I apologize for cutting you off, looking at these tips, if you could do one, maybe even two, you're off to a decent start.
Yes, very much so.
All right, Diane, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Thank you.